Good evening. You're now with me, Lorenzo Isaac, for TVS Nightline. Here are the headlines for tonight. Sarawak Governor Tun Berhin Sri Dr. Wan Junaidi Tuanku Jaafar to officiate Sarawak Regatta 2024 this November 3rd. 74 houses of worship in Sarawak received aid funds totaling ringgit 20.66 million through the Unit for Other Religions UNIFOR. And in world news, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu vows strike on HEZBOLLAH after drone attack. Sarawak Governor Tun Berhin Sri Dr. Wan Junaidi Tuanku Jaafar is scheduled to officiate the Sarawak Regatta 2024 at the waterfront on November 3rd. Sarawak Minister of Tourism, Creative Industry and Performing Arts, Datuk Sri Abdul Karim Rahman Hamzah, said that Tun Wan Junaidi is also keen on attending the 2024 Sarawak International Dragon Boat competition, which will be held from October 25th to 27th.
Sebenarnya kunjungan kita untuk menyambut dalam dua acara rasmi, iaitu perasmian Festival Gendang pada 1 hari bulan November dan juga pada 3 hari bulan November, iaitu penutupan hari terakhir regatta. Tapi Tun maklum bahawa kalau tidak keberatan, Tun mahu bersama untuk International Dragon Boat yang akan diadakan mula pada 25 hari bulan Oktober sehingga 27 hari bulan Oktober. Jadi itulah tujuan kunjungan kami datang ke istana pada pagi ini.
He said this to reporters after paying a courtesy call to Tun Wan Junaidi at the Astana Negeri Sarawak on Monday. The Sarawak Regatta 2024, to be held from November 1st to 3rd, has gained significant attention as this year's cash prizes have been increased compared to previous editions.
Regatta Sarawak tahun ini sambutannya begitu meriah sekali. Saya tahu penganjur terpaksa limit jumlah mereka yang terlibat bersama kerana terlalu ramai yang mahu terlibat dalam perlombaan.
Abdul Karim also revealed that the Premier Sarawak, Dato' Patinggi Dan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg, will officiate the Sarawak International Dragon Boat competition. The competition will feature 60 teams from 21 countries, including England, Ireland and the United States. The Sarawak government remains committed to ensuring the implementation of development projects for non-Muslim houses of worship while also addressing their needs and welfare. Sarawak Deputy Premier Dato' Amar Douglas Ukhambas also emphasized the importance of managing and utilizing the allocated funds for state constituencies responsibly in accordance with the approved development plans.
For this year, our first disbursement was done earlier. Phase 1, Phase 2 was 55.25 million, which is 61%. The next one, the Phase 3, we have 74 house of worship, where we distributed 25.219 million. So this time round, this is phase 4, Phase 3. Phase 3, 20.66 million, and we have a balance of 9.576 million, or 11%.
He said this in his speech at the third phase check presentation ceremony for the non-Muslim houses of worship Aid Fund for Third Phase 2024 held in Kuching earlier today. Douglas, who is also the chairman of UNIFOR, urged representatives of the House of Worship project management teams in each state constituency to ensure that all planned and implemented projects proceed smoothly. A total of 30 members of parliament and state assemblymen, along along with representatives, were present to receive checks for various religious projects in their constituencies approved under this third phase. NASA's space app Sarawak has gained national recognition for its effort in promoting science, technology, engineering and mathematics STEM education, particularly in rural schools throughout the region. Sarawak Minister for Education, Innovation and Talent Development, Dato' Sri Roland Sagawi announced that the project was honoured with the JCI Malaysia Sustainable Development Award this year under the category of the 4th Sustainable Development Goal SDG for Quality Education.
NASA Space App Sarawak is one of the many initiatives in which my ministry has invested significantly, focusing on nurturing young, talented Sarawakians. Through this collaborative effort, I'm glad to see NASA Space App Sarawak expand its reach to new areas such as Kapit, Lawas, Libang, Lubuk Antu, and many underserved communities.
He said this at the closing ceremony of NASA's Space App Sarawak Hackathon 2024 in Miri on Monday. Meanwhile, Saga expressed his gratitude to University Technology Sarawak UTS for successfully organizing the first physical hackathon since 2021 with over 100 participants joining. This year's event saw a significant increase in participation from schools and higher learning institutions in Sarawak, with double the number of teams compared to the previous year. The Ministry of Domestic Trade and Cost of Living, KPDN, will hold discussions with the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, KPKM, regarding the expected threefold increase in vegetable prices by the end of this year. Its Minister, Dato' Armizan Muhammad Ali, said his ministry will monitor any price changes and act proactively if there is a sudden increase.
Still premature untuk saya komen tentang perkara, tetapi kita memantau. KPDN akan memantau sebarang kenaikan harga, pergerakan harga ataupun perkara yang terkait dengan bekalan juga kita akan pantau dan kita sentiasa mengadakan kerjasama rapat dengan Kementerian Pertanian. Of course, sekiranya ada keperluan, kita akan mengambil sebarang langkah intervensi.
He spoke during a press conference after meeting with the Karsam Group at Karsam PJ Automall Experience Centre earlier today. Earlier, the media reported that vegetable prices are expected to increase in November and December due to the northeast monsoon phase, which may cause heavy rain and flooding in several areas nationwide.
Witness the beginning of an extraordinary journey where science, conservation and adventure converge. Mysteries await, and the underwater world holds its breath in anticipation of the secrets that will be unveiled. Diverse species of fish have made the rig their home. D30 has become a burgeoning artificial reef. The diversity of shapes and hues is an evolution from the original purpose of the rig. But what is truly remarkable is the speed at which this transformation has occurred, even at such depths. In just a short period, D30 has transformed from a decommissioned structure to a thriving young reef, pulsing with an orchestra of new marine life.
Welcome back. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu pledged to launch unrelenting strikes against Hezbollah following the group's deadliest assault on Israel since the war's onset in late September. According to a local report, a Hezbollah drone attack on an Israeli base on October 13 resulted in the death of 4 soldiers and left about 60 others wounded. Netanyahu emphasized that Israel would continue to target Hezbollah across all regions of Lebanon, including Beirut. The Lebanese group said its drone strike was a response to Israeli air raids, one of which killed at least 22 people in central Beirut last week. Since Israel escalated its bombing campaign and sent ground troops into Lebanon last month, the conflict has led to the deaths of at least 1,315 people, based on figures from Lebanon's health ministry, though the true toll may be higher. Prior to Netanyahu's comment, Israeli airstrike hit multiple targets across Lebanon, including a northern Christian majority village where 21 people were reportedly killed on Monday. Hezbollah also launched rockets at an Israeli naval base near Haifa earlier in the day, followed by a larger rocket barrage aimed at Saif in northern Israel. The group reported intense clashes between its fighter and Israeli forces near the Lebanese border village of Aita al-Sha'ab, as well as other areas. Air raid sirens were activated across central Israel, including Tel Aviv, after the Israeli military intercepted 2 drones approaching from Syria earlier in the day. Oil prices tumbled more than 5% earlier today after a report said Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu told US President Joe Biden he will not strike Iran's crude or nuclear facilities. Oil prices were also pushed down by worries about demand in China after Beijing failed to announce any new stimulus for its stuttering economy at a weekend briefing. Major stock markets were mostly lower, with declines in Shanghai, Hong Kong and London, while Frankfurt rose on a report showing reviving investors' confidence. Key U.S. oil contract, West Texas Intermediate, tumbled more than 5% to $69.71 per barrel. European benchmark Brent North Sea crude also slumped by a similar amount to $73.34 before clawing back some losses. Prices slid following a Washington Post report that Netanyahu had pledged to target Iran's military rather than its crude and nuclear sector. Iran's missile attacks on Israel earlier this month sent crude prices soaring on fears that retaliatory strikes will disrupt oil supplies. The International Energy Agency today said global oil markets remain adequately supplied. The 2024 Nobel Prize in Economics was awarded to Turkish-American economist Daron Acemoglu, British-American Simon Johnson and James Robinson for their groundbreaking research on wealth inequality between nations. Their work delves into how various political and economic systems established by European colonizers have influenced prosperity. The Nobel Committee emphasized that their findings demonstrate a clear link between societal institutions and economic success. Chair of the Prize Committee, Jacob Svensson, remarked that addressing the stark income disparities between countries is a significant global challenge, noting that the laureates' research underscores the crucial role institutions play in reducing this gap. The jury praised their contributions in explaining why some nations achieve economic prosperity while others struggle, attributing much of the disparity to differences in political and economic structures. A Russian man was found alive after drifting for 2 months on an inflatable boat, while another man and a teenage boy died. Russian transport prosecutors today said the 2 men and a 15-year-old set off to the island of Sakhalin from the far eastern Khabarov region on August 9. After a time, communication with them was lost and their boat's location remained unknown.
Катамаран был обнаружен проходящим мимо рыболовным судном в акватории Охотского моря в районе села Усть-Харюзово Камчатского края. 2 человека погибли, 1 остался в живых, ему оказана первая медицинская помощь.
The dinghy was found in the Sea of Okhotsk, around 1,000 kilometers from its starting point. Prosecutors published a video showing the bearded survivor in a life jacket shouting at the fishermen, "I don't have much strength," but managing to catch a rope. The survivor was identified as Mikhail Pichugin, while his 49-year-old brother Sergei and 15-year-old nephew Ilya died. Their bodies were on the boat. Those were the updates on TVS Nightline. I'm Lorenzo Isaac. Thank you for watching and have a good night.